Jehovah's passion for life. We just supported his team that be bringing them life. But we couldn't.
Y'all do 93.7 The Beat, H-Town's real hip-hop and R&B. Welcome to Blessed Beats in the Streets. Exclusive. My name is Memphis 10. I got the whole family with me.
Hey.
DJ Wiz.
Hey. It's your girl, Bishop Becca here.
And the one and only Alexis Fly.
All right, so we on the streets. Who we got with us tonight?
Hey!
Drum roll.
His name is Nate Robinson, and he is a hip hop artist as well as the drummer for the one and only drum roll, please. Lecrae.
So 116 in the building, right?
Hey.
All right.
Hey.
Oh, he got that. You know, let's start it like this. Is everybody in the 116 camp tatted with the 116? Is there like a?
It's not a prerequisite, but I'm gonna say yeah. I can't think of anybody who doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you get hooked up with that whole family? I know Lecrae is originally from here.
Yeah, he's from here. I'm from here, and
All right.
So I mean, it really happened like in a weird, like accidental kind of way. You know, there's a guy named Dahadi Lewis. I don't know if you're familiar with Show Baraka.
Yeah.
It's Show's brother, and he's a pastor in Atlanta. They started a church plant, and one of my buddies, a keyboard player named Jamie, was like, man, come, help me out at this church. And I was like, cool, I'll come. And I wasn't familiar with any of these dudes, like none of the Reach Camp at all. And so I'm, playing, helping them out. They all in the church, sitting on the front row. And I see people like coming up to them after service or whatever. I'm like, man, who are these dudes?
Right.
I don't know.
I'm not.
Well, okay, so you go back with DJ Wiz.
Yeah.
You got a story about like how y'all even know each other?
I'm gonna say we go back to where we met through mutual friends, which a group called Soul Fruit.
Church service.
Oh, so it was good friends.
Yeah.
They're only the intro on our show, but okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So I'm gonna kind of tell the story a
Go
little
ahead,
bit.
bro.
So Nate was playing drums for Soul Fruit because me and Soul Fruit was, go way back even further. But he's playing the drums for him, and then it was like the little skinny dude playing the drums. But when we got to the show, he's playing the drums.
Cause you're going in.
Oh, he's playing the drums. But this is the funny part that I like about it because it was like after everything was said and over, he zipped up his drum set, all in the bags, everything carried out. We walk out there to this little old bitty car, and I'm like, don't know how you get it all in there, but here you go. But
He had the Roman what he had.
it's like a
That was my
puzzle
first
piece.
car. Yeah.
Wait, what kind of car was it, Nate?
It was a '88 Chevy Cavalier.
Come on, Kevin.
Do you still have it?
Nah.
Oh, you gave it away. All right.
I sold it.
You sold it. All right.
Drummer by gift.
Yeah.
Tell us how you when did you find out that was your gift?
Man, when my mama started getting like whooping me because I was beating on all that stuff.
Oh, I know that's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like so yeah.
I got one now. He 1 year old. He beating on
That was-
everything.
that was-
I got
that was me.
Church boys.
So I'm gonna ask you this. Like, I understand you're married, right?
I am.
Okay, you have children?
I do.
Hey, so I want to know, personally, how you balance it all? Like, I know you're on the road, you traveling, you're doing a lot of things. Like, how do you carve out family time, wifey time, Jesus? Because you got to have wifey time.
You have to have wifey time.
Yes, most definitely.
So I mean, one thing is I gotta prioritize.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I have to make sure that this is a part of my schedule. So I gotta think about that in advance. The other thing that's probably bigger than me prioritizing is I married the right person.
You
So,
got
That's the business.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So-
the good
Now,
one.
okay, you said you married the right person. Like, what was the prerequisite? Like, what was the
She
questionnaire?
sang in the choir.
No.
Like, how did that work? Like, how did
No.
that work?
All right, so here's the story. It's a good one. When we first met, I have a grown daughter, right? I had a daughter when I was 15, and so I was a single dad too, and she was living with me. And when we first met, me and my mom were kind of, it was tough.
Yeah.
And I got a call to do the Khalees tour, and that was gonna be like a month and a half in Europe. So I was like, man, what am I gonna do? Like,
Wait,
you know.
back up. You said Khalees, you had some milkshakes going on.
Yeah.
Bringing all the boys
You know,
to the
I was
yard.
thinking that I was going to go there because
It was
but
That's all right, that's all right.
my milkshake.
Yeah, you know.
Okay,
Yeah,
937 to be Houston. Okay.
Yeah,
He was sipping milkshakes, it's all right.
I was.
He's been delivered.
We'll cut that story short right there, though.
You good.
But yeah, man, like, we'd only known each other for probably a month, you know, and she lived literally 5 minutes from my mom's house. And she was like, man, you know what? Let your mom know that I'll help. I'll do whatever I got to do. You know, I'll get her back and forth to school, whatever. And I was like, word? Like, okay.
Rider?
Okay. You know, and that was, you know, at that time I was like, you know, we'll talk about marriage in some years. In my mind, I was like, yeah, we getting married. Like,
that's what's up.
Hey, but you know what? That is true. A dude really knows when that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can say
Okay,
right?
okay, but then y'all was tripping when my husband brought me roses on the first date. I mean, because like I always tell y'all, he knew.
I mean,
He knew what his plan was.
to get married.
That's the first date, though.
But my point is, he had a plan. He knew who I was. That's all.
We're going to ask you that question later because we have to let you in on that one.
Okay.
Think about that one.
Yeah.
But check this out, Nate. So you have a new album out, and I heard a few tracks, and all I have to say is that it's fire. So let us know. Hey.
Right.
Tell our viewers and our listeners, you know, what your new album is all about.
Yeah, it's about music, you know. Like I'm a musician first, and I'm a producer second, and so I like all kinds of music, but I'm a hip hop head, so it's definitely like it's rooted in hip hop, but I love jazz, I love soul, so I try to figure out how to get all that in the pot and stir it up.
What can we expect on the album?
You can expect dope features. So like you got Lecrae, you got Derek Minor, Show, Shantae Can.
Okay.
I'm missing a bunch of people, but you know, a bunch of cool features.
Let me back up before the album. Before the milkshake tour, right?
Yeah, that's what it was called too.
Into the business, like how'd you go from? Because there's a lot of people watching BlessedBeats.com, church people, right? How do you go from playing at church to on tour? How'd that happen for you?
Or even this, throw this in here too, playing in high school. Because I mean, it started in high school, right? You were in the band there. So that journey.
How does that happen? Because I know. My drummer gonna be watching this like, man, I can't get about it.
I
gotta do 3 services. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I can't. A lot of it is just providential. I can't take no credit for it. You know what I'm saying? But it was definitely a desire that I had, and I worked hard at it. And you know, I worked hard at the getting my feet wet. Worked hard at the the networking and getting out there and getting to know people. And it just kind of came together, man. Like I definitely started in the band in high school, and then when I was in high school, I started getting calls to like do clubs. So I was playing in the clubs when I was 17, and that's kind of where I got my feet wet, and definitely started to develop a different network of people outside of like the church.
Right.
You know, and that's what led to those opportunities to do that kind of stuff.
The 116 camp, they take a lot of heat for straddling the fence, the type of music. I actually love it, right?
Yeah.
Is there a criteria of what you can and can't do? Meaning, like, you're a musician, right?
Yeah.
Can you go work with a poppin' secular artist?
If my family needs to eat, I'm gonna go where I gotta go.
Because it's in your heart, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing is, like, even when I was on the tour with Khalees, and like you said, it's who you are, how you walk. So when I was there, it wasn't too long before people were like, man, let's rap, bro. Like, I need to talk to you about something. And, I wasn't out there advertising, but you just walk a certain way. You know what I mean?
And that's what's up, though. And, like, when you, being like Christ, we talk about that a lot. Like, being the example versus talking about how to be like Christ. Like, that's what's up, and that's what draws people to
And
Christ.
what a lot of people miss is, I mean, I guess they need to, like, go back and read that Bible with a magnifying glass and see who Christ hung out with.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
You better preach.
Hey, you got to know your words.
Thank you. Here's what I'm saying.
Right?
Come on, 116. Let's go.
Here's my thing, Nate Robinson. So, you do all of this. You've worked with secular artists. You work with, well, I guess you want to call them gospel artists. I don't know what they label themselves these days. Christian. Everybody got their own thing.
Gospel rappers, everything.
But how did your journey start as far as your Christian walk? Where did that all begin?
Well, I was definitely blessed to have, like, very spiritually rooted parents.
Yeah.
So I got it with a silver spoon. I didn't have to, like, go really digging and finding it. And I grew up in a solid church.
Yeah.
So.
What denomination, by chance? I'm just interested.
Baptist.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why did that even? Okay, but okay.
That's kind of important.
No, really, it mean, it does.
Because he could have been in the church where, you know, we talk about, I ain't going to, you know, say the names, but you got, you know, makeup.
Yeah.
The women got to wear they dresses all the way.
It's all right,
down.
you know.
Anyway.
He grew up Baptist.
I'll just say it was a very solid church.
Yeah.
That eliminates a whole lot of other stuff.
There
You know what I mean?
There you go.
Yeah, but that's definitely a blessing. I didn't have to like go through a bunch of hard stuff and find Jesus the hard way.
Yeah,
you know,
you were raised up in it.
I was raised up in it, and I still had to develop my own relationship.
Of course.
But I didn't have to go searching far. You know what I mean?
I can relate to that.
Being a part of is it Reach Records?
Yeah.
116. In this industry, the Christian hip hop industry, y'all are like kings.
Yes.
Right? In other industries, country music, rock music, it's plenty of labels out there, right? What kind of pressure do y'all got to constantly put out the hits? And then you being an artist, is there a timeline on when you can come out? Or, you know, if Andy got a project coming out, is it a priority? Well, dropping a new one, everybody moves like.
So I'm not, as an artist, you know, the stuff that I'm doing is not under Reach in any kind of way, just affiliated.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't have to fit into their timelines in any kind of way. You know, the only way that affects me is like those dudes support whatever I do. So, you know, like to get Cray on my album, I had to be patient and kind of wait until the time was right. And we recorded it in Salt Lake City, Utah, while we were on tours. Like, but you know, so that's that answer to that question. The other side, the first half of the question you asked was, the like pressure. Yeah. Honestly, man, let me say this. There's some really smart dudes. Like the dudes that run that label are really, really smart dudes. And they are thinking way beyond the church. Right. They're thinking way beyond CHH. Right. You know, and I really, really appreciate that, man. Cause like I got a cousin who was locked up, and when he got out, he was like, yeah, man, I kept telling him, yo, my cousin is, but like that's giving him something to really like latch on to, and he's in jail.
Yeah.
But he's in jail talking about this to all the dudes that he's locked up with. You know what I mean? So that's the benefit of transcending the church and transcending Christian hip hop. Right. Those are the dudes that really, really, really need to lock onto that.
I watch Reach on social media a lot. I watch Cray. I watch many of. It's a lot of tours. Talk about being, because you're not the front guy on the tour. Talk about being that guy on the tour. Yeah. How's tour life?
It's dope.
Okay. Take me through a typical Tuesday. Y'all got a show on Thursday, like, or just a typical day. Are y'all at the point of y'all private jetting it, or y'all still tour?
Do you have riders? This is what I want to know. Is there a rider?
There's definitely a rider. It's
is
pretty.
It something crazy like Blue Eminem?
I know.
Nah. I mean that dude is so far from a diva.
Yeah.
Which is dope. Yeah. You know, like he'll get on the bus and eat hot dogs in the microwave. You know what I mean? Like
that's what's up.
So you're tour busing it still. Okay, cool. Because we're gonna be tour now. But we're not private jetting it.
We busting it, we flying. Like it just depends on the situation. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Is it a lot of downtime?
At this point, we got a lot more downtime now.
Well, I'm saying during tour season.
During tour season, like during a typical day.
If y'all had 3 shows in a month or a week, or I don't know how tours go, but I'm just trying to figure out for people who are watching. Yeah. Because all we know is pay our ticket, show up at 7:30, lights coming on, they coming on stage.
Yeah, you don't know what it all takes. Yeah.
Well, I tell you this much: if you get there at 7:30, the day started at 7:30.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
And so we got a crew of dudes that busted and work hard, and so it's you got a semi. They having to unload a whole semi, set up all of this stuff. All kind of tech issues that happen from show to show.
Here's a personal question. I always wanted to ask about tours, right?
Yep.
I went to the Anomaly concert when it was here. Like, if it's a tour if the show is on a Tuesday and you got one in the next city on Thursday, who do the clothes washing and all of this?
Oh, that's a great question.
What happens with that?
Who does that?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, really?
I never knew.
Yeah, tour life is a different life. You know what I mean? You have to create a whole nother set of rules that you live by, because it's a whole nother thing. So you learn how to find wash and fold, which I didn't even, you know what I mean?
I know about them. Yeah.
Well, real question, how do you handle controversy on the bus when y'all tired of being with each other?
That's a real good question.
I've dealt with that in the past.
Okay.
But you got a cool crew now.
We brothers. Like, we don't get on each other's nerves. It's like, and it's crazy because we all a bunch of introverts. Like, all of us are.
Really? People around here keep saying that. I ain't gonna say no names, but you know.
I'm an introvert.
Yeah. Okay, I'll call him out.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get it. No.
I know. I wanted to ask you about Lecrae. You mentioned that he was, he's cool, great to be around. Just tell me a little bit more about his character and like how he is.
He's a solid dude. Like he's a clown, he's hyperactive. Like if we got a day off, if you don't feel like doing a bunch of walking and you want to chill out, don't go with him.
Oh, wow.
Like he's an energizer, you know what I mean?
He'll be a good fit for Blessed Beats.
He's gonna be everywhere. But like, and then outside of that, man, he's a solid dude. Like I've had issues like, marriage issues when we first met.
Yeah, that's everybody.
Yeah. And this is literally, we probably known each other for a month or so.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, you need to rap. I was like, I need to rap. And we talked, and it was like really good, solid talks. And, just like, he's a brother. He's a good dude. You know what I mean?
I just got a quick question because we've been on the tours and everything, so I just waited to jump in there. Because I was going back
You need a DJ.
They had a DJ, and then they recently lost one. But But I was just going to say now, from going to stuffing it in that car, how does it feel? You get there and it's all set up for you. And it's like a twofold. Like it's all set up for how they feel. And then the fact of the matter, because I've noticed that you do where you, I guess you use a drum set for so long. Yeah. And then you allow somebody else to buy that drum set, or
I did a couple times,
or give it donated or something like that. So how does that feel? To feel because I know it's little kids that look up and be like, because I sometimes find myself just strolling through looking at different drummers and all that, and I know, man, they be getting it and everything. So sometimes that's an honor right there.
Man, part one. Yeah, it feels really good.
No more crazy,
No more carrying yourself.
Shout out to my man Corey. Like my tech is real dope, real cool dude. He take care of me, and it feels real good to just like. There's times when I just show up at 7:30.
Yeah,
it's ready to go.
It's ready to go. Yeah. So I paid those dues.
That's
you already know.
I did. So I know that you have a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Tell us the name of your nonprofit.
Get a Music Life.
Yeah, I love it. Okay.
Wait, say it again for people.
Get a Music Life.
Get a Music Life.
Okay. So what was that birthed out of? I mean, I know you're a musician and all of that. Like, at what point did you feel like now is time to do that?
So I went to Sterling. Right?
I didn't go there, but I was just saying.
I tried.
Let's be Houston connection. Go ahead.
But like that, Sterling is hood. It's a lot of challenging stuff. It's a whole bunch of stories. You know what I'm saying? And I had a really, really, really dope band director who stuck his neck out and did a whole lot of stuff for the kids, and that impacted me. And once I got a little further along, I was like, man, I don't want to be a teacher like Mr. Woodson. I respect him, but I'm not.
Like that is.
I can't do it, but I respect him. Yeah, but I'm like, man, I want to do what he did, what I watched him do to help a lot of people who I knew had it real tough. So it's like, how can I do it?
Well, what does that look like? So like, what is the nonprofit?
It's about giving music education to the kids that really want it and can't afford it.
That's what's up.
And that's
it.
Yeah.
So like, how do they get hooked up with that? Or
so right now we're switching our whole model right now to try to make it more effective and actually like do a whole lot more with it. So that'll be coming real soon.
And your wife helps with that, right?
Yeah, she's
Come on, Ryder.
That rib, baby, that rib.
Yeah.
Something about the ribs.
You need to get her a Ryder.
I need to get her everything she wants.
For real.
Everything. You hear that, wife?
So I'm gonna go back to the drums. Do that tie in with the nonprofit when you do the drum thing?
Like that's where it started too. Like because I remember me like not having a drum set. I remember at a point I used to set up on my bed. I would get like just whatever and put little album covers up. Those are my toms. Put something over here, and I would sit on my bed and play drums. So,
are your kids into music?
My oldest daughter is a really good singer.
Come on now.
Yeah,
she's on the album.
Nah, she's not on the album.
She didn't make the cut.
She didn't make the cut? She can't sing background.
It wasn't
big business.
It wasn't.
Now she's gonna be asking me.
Yeah, right. Y'all starting mess. Y'all started a mess. But no, she's a dope singer though. And then like my middle daughter, she's a dancer. She's not into music at all. My little one, she's 5. She writes songs all day long.
Well, we got a Robinson 3, you know.
No, because one of them can't sing.
Well,
dancing.
She's a good volleyball player, but she quit. She don't play no more. She loves dance. Like that's her thing.
She'll find her own path.
Yeah.
She's a dancer. I think she found it.
Oh, wait a minute. What do they say about when you have 3 girls?
Payback.
Payback.
My man.
Yeah.
I just said
You know what? Payback from the milkshakes.
No, check it. We tatted.
Yeah.
You got the hat on backwards.
Yeah.
We kind of relaxed at Blessed Beast.
Yeah.
What kind of scrutiny do y'all get on tour out in the world, at shows, at churches, for the way we look?
Yeah.
And how do y'all handle it?
Man, you know, I'm sure you see it. Like everybody has something to say.
Right.
You know, we know who we are.
Right.
I don't even hear it. You know what I mean? If they would peer a little bit deeper into it, all of that would go away real fast.
When y'all are doing studio sessions, videos, tours, how do y'all get prayer time in or like worship time in? Like who leads that?
Yeah.
And have you ever gone in during a session, if you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a couple times where, like, one of the things that we do consistently on tour is Devo time. So like we'll set a time.
Devotional time, right?
Oh, I was gonna say translate. Hold on.
Yeah.
I thought never mind.
I
thought it meant like
TiVo?
I knew
we watching what? TJ? But go ahead.
Yeah.
Got it.
But yeah, we'll set a time at the beginning of a tour run, and then we all meet up on the bus. We choose different stuff, like different literature or different like videos. Like that time is prioritized. It's carved out to make sure that we're doing that. You know what I mean? And that's led and headed up by Lecrae. You know what I mean?
Wow,
like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Who's the hardest worker?
Who's the hardest worker?
Who's the hardest? Who go the hardest? Who's the hardest worker?
Don't get the man
Let's exclusive right here from Nate. Who's the hardest worker in the camp? If you the hardest worker, you the hardest worker.
Nah.
If you go hard,
I know. Just say
I go hard. But I can't say I'm the hardest worker.
Okay.
Lecrae is the hardest worker, man, just by mere fact that he's Lecrae. And from the time he wake up, he's got phone interviews. He's got to go do this. He's got to go to the radio station. He's got to go do meet and greet. He got to do this and then go get on the stage. And you know, and so I can't. I don't want to be him. I'm straight.
Like I'm good.
Album. The name of it?
Heard Not Seen 2. So there's a Heard Not Seen. It came out last year. But this is Heard Not Seen 2.
Single. Is there a single on it?
The Bottom.
Can you give us some bars from that?
Well, I don't rap. Let's see.
What can you give us from that?
My favorite line is this Lecrae's verse. He said, we came from the bottom of the slave ship. The bottom of the master boot is what the slave get. But when I rise, I'ma look him in their eyes, say, surprise, you can hate me, but my mama know we made it from the bottom. Like, that's my favorite line.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
And Derek Miner's, his verse is fire.
It's fire?
Yeah.
Release date on that?
It came out in July 29th.
Okay, and then so it was already out, we can go get it.
Everywhere, yeah.
All right, cool.
Everywhere digital.
In the building. You might be watching this on your laptops. You might be watching it on your desktop. You might even be watching it on your smartphone. Go ahead and stretch your hands out to it. Nate, bless us out of here, man.
Lord, we thank you. God, we're grateful. We don't take anything for granted, God. And above all, Lord, we just ask that you would continue to guide us and keep us. And we want to take time to pray for those that need you, God. And we just ask that you fill the voids and close the gaps for those that need you in a way that only you can, in a way that only you know, God. We love you and we thank you for it all. Amen.
Amen.
Last but not least, social media, how people get in touch with you?
116 BeatBreaker everywhere.
Breaking
the beats.
God bless the beats. We out of here.